Hey, what's going on, traders? Two trades today. Wish it was three. We're going to jump right into this as always. First trade was on NVAX. This actually ended up being our bigger winner for the day. This line. So pretty big move here at the bell. I can keep the line there. You can see I was looking at this previous resistance from the post market from yesterday. Not sure if that was earnings or what, but at the bell, it decided to go right back up to it. And if we zoom in, you'll see at that line is where I decided to try to start this. So key area 21 got through that high at 21.38, was looking to front run that, assuming we were going to run into a little bit of trouble there. However, we did not. Started this with 75 shares, went ahead and added another 75 when it decided to keep going at yet another key area through the $0.50, 20 cents through. You guys know I love those areas. And that essentially brought our average up to somewhere around that line actually. So looking for it to come back down through, get a decent little move, take 100 off there, and then put the other 50 out a little bit lower down towards VWAP, and we end up getting a fill. It decided to go quite a bit lower, but was just kind of front running 21 there, and then we ended up getting both fills. So pretty happy with that trade overall. Worked out, can't really complain. Took it a little bit lighter on the first entry just because it's NVAX, but it is, is what it is. Plug was our second trade, and this was the first trading one. So scroll out, you can see previous day's highs all the way down here. A little bit of a blip there, and after hours, obviously earnings. So keeping that in mind as we're playing this, and get a decent little move here to start at the bell. So started curl up, and then boom, got a nice little move. 1578 was the high. We ended up starting at 1576, basically top ticking this thing. And then when it came down, I'm pretty positive. You can go watch the live stream if you're a member. Join button down below. And I'm pretty sure we were in this before it made the new high there at 1588 and made this move down. I think 1588 was after it came down. But anyways, 1558. If you watch the live trade, you will see that I had an order out at 1557. I was not letting me draw it there, but it was at 1557. Missed us by a darn penny. Was just trying to front run the $0.50. A little bit of half the move. It was probably right around half the move. Looking from here, and yeah, so a little sad, didn't get that fill, but it kind of ruined what could have been a really good trade, a really good second trade on plug, because now we have our starting shares of 150 shares here at 1576 instead of being flat. So at this point, we're waiting to see what it does to 16, makes a nice move up through 16, and we end up getting our first add there for another 150 shares. So instead of our new trade with already a decent amount of profit from the first trade and our average being here at 1611, or what was it, 1612, our average is now, I think it was like 1596. It was around there. And now we need a much bigger pullback to get profit. And just not feeling very comfortable with the trade at this point. So I know that I want to get my average up over 16. If I have to, if it continues, which it does, it goes all the way up to 1636. I'm kind of waiting for 1650 at this point to do a 112 if it wants to do that, but it doesn't. It starts to struggle here in the 1630s. So it starts to work its way down after trying the highs twice here. We go ahead and add another 150 shares at 1623. That brings our average, I believe, to, it was like 1603, something around there. We got over 16, but it was basically at 16. So it didn't really bring my average up as much as I had liked. However, we are above 16, which is good. So if we get that flush to 16, we'll at least have the option to take some off if we want, or we can look for that bigger move down towards 1570, 1550. However, it decides to try to move higher. So essentially this is a 1-2, and I'm seeing what it wants to do if it goes higher up through 1650. But now we're building some size, right? We have 450 shares at this point with an average of 1603. If this ran through 1650 up to 17, that would mean we're down $450. So easy math. Obviously, it wouldn't be comfortable at that point, but I'd be looking to add up there. I would probably be looking to add up through 1650. I'm just talking, the scenario where we actually get a real spike. Because as you can see, after that, it started to grind these two candles. And when it went to go up through, you never know when you're going to get that crazy, like short squeeze or, whatever it may be. You don't know when that's going to happen. So that's kind of why I trade the way that I do. This ad here may be a little ambiguous. Is that the word I'm looking for? Looking to get my average over 16. Maybe not the right place to add there. Didn't really bring my average up too much. Am I really ever going to take some off at 16 that I wouldn't take off at 1596? I don't know. But I am adding an extra 150 shares here, where if it does decide to rip, now I'm digging myself a hole. So we end up getting the move a little bit higher, 41. I realize pretty much right away, the volume's coming in. We're not going much higher. Didn't even really test 1650 at all. So as we start to come down, I hit the button again for another 150 shares, which gets my average up to 1610. And so I'm a little bit happier with this. I see that 13 held it there. As it came down, this pretty much bounced right off our average. You can see where this candle actually closed. It closed way up at 1627 right after it came all the way down to 1612. And it was a pretty straight move down. I was looking for it to at least test 16, was ready to take at least half my position off at 16 to lessen the risk as well as take some profit. So doesn't, goes all the way back up to 1630. And then we finally start to get the move down. It gets to 1610 and it really starts to, boggle around, jiggle around my average. And I had a bunch of orders out. I had one for, because at this point, 151, so we were up to 600 shares. I had an order out for 400 shares at, I believe, 1603. And then I had like 100 and 100. I had like 100 at 1588 and 100 at 1575. So as this was coming down, I dragged the 200 share orders up. And I mean, pop this out real quick. You can see that the first two that I took off here, right? Sure, it's going this way. So I dragged the 200 ones up, and one was break even, one was for a small loss. And then as it was coming down, I don't know what happened on this one, but the bid said like 1601, 1602, and I swear the ask said like 1603, 1604, but I hit it. I get filled at 1605 and 1606. And as you can see, that was for half the shows for 200 of the remaining 400. And I just didn't make much on them. Like I said, our average was 1610. I think it was actually like 1609 and like 9 something, but a little bit frustrating because I was really hoping with the size that I'd built, I was going to make a little bit more, but it was really struggling to get through 16. It dives down through 16, gets to 1592, starts to come back up. I was really trying to hold those 200 shares, hoping we get that flush down into like the 80s and the 70s. We couldn't get it. I ended up taking another 100 off at 97, which was, the most I made on this. And I was really trying to hold these extra 100 shares, looking for what exactly happened. However, I said with an average of 1610, I was only up $17 on the trade after this cover. I had 100 shares left. If I let this go to high a day, which was 41, you're talking about giving $31 back. I was only up 17. I told myself I would like to see this area hold. You can see it was support here. I'd like to see it used as resistance, and it was. However, my average was 3 cents a little too low because I actually hit it as it crossed through 10. I think it's at 11 on the ask when I hit it. I got filled at 13. I can get rid of line. I literally got filled at 1613. The high of that candle was 1613. And then it just literally faded into oblivion the rest of the day. So my take profit on this one was sitting at 75, looking for that flush. Ended up getting it at 13. That's what, 38 cents or so that I could have. So I gave $3 back instead of making $40. A little frustrated, little frustrated because I would have gave us $100 day. There was also Ratty. I have a screenshot. I posted it on Twitter if you guys want to go check that out. This very first move on Ratty, I had an order sitting here at 83 and it literally went to 82 and just stopped. The spread on this was kind of bad, so I couldn't just drag it down, and take like a couple cents. It was like a 6 or 7 cent spread. And on something like this, that was enough to kind of keep me out of it as far as dragging the order down. But in hindsight, obviously wish I would have just dragged the order down. Even if I got filled, low 70s, would have obviously still been worth it. It was just 100 shares, but, or at least I think it was, it was just 100 shares. So yeah, a frustrating green day to say the least. Decent bounce back from yesterday. Plug could have been so much better. Ratty we could have got, for 30, 40 cents, which this could have easily have been $120, $150 day. However, it didn't play out that way. And sometimes it just happens. So that's all I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I have Twitter, Discord. Those links are in the description as well if you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.